Hey y'all, it's Steve, Hobo with Wood, coming at you with another video. This one will probably be a little longer than some, but there's going to be a lot of really good information in this video. Tips on how to utilize all those pieces of material you have laying around that you've kind of been like, there's a lot of good meat left on them bones, but it's aggravating to get it centered and to get it focused, not focused, but framed. Well, I'm going to show you how easy it is to do just that. I did one video on framing the oblong pieces of wood and how simple that is. Well, if you're like me, you hate to throw away any wood that's got good meat left on it, and in doing so, I end up with stacks of various shapes of rounds, and here's 4 different size rounds, but there's good wood left in here, and with lumber being what it is, you hate to throw anything out, but that's a little 2-inch disc. How do you get the most out of that disc without wasting any material from that? Well, I'm going to show you just how to do that, how to do just that. But not just rounds. There's this can be used on various sizes, various shapes. Also going to do a follow-up on a video, the last one I put out, if you've seen it. It shows how I went through the process of correcting an accident with the laser without moving any material. I was able to go out and do a reburn and correct that. Well, thankfully, a subscriber, a YouTube watcher, commented about, hey, there's a better way to do that, and for that, I give great thanks, and that's what I want to hear from you guys. I don't know what I'm doing. I've said that many times. I just started this in late June 2022. I've only been at this now for 3 months, 3 months and a couple days. So I'm sharing with you what I learn as I learn it. And it's what I'm teaching myself, and it may not always be the best or the right way. And if there's a better way, by all means, share it. So far, I've sent out a couple of T-shirts. I'm sending this young man out a T-shirt too. They're quite fun. Check out my wood. So thank you for the advice and for the helpful hints. However, this may be my last video. I know that might be a little shocking for some, but I need you guys to subscribe. The majority of you who are watching this have not subscribed to the channel, and I need you to subscribe. I don't want you to, I need you to subscribe. I've already met all the qualifications for monetization, except for the number of subscribers, and 76% of you watching this have not subscribed to the channel. And I need you to. But that's not why I'm not. It may be a while before there's more videos coming out. Where is that? There's that right there. There's a picture of my xTool D1 laser module. If you've been watching my YouTube channel, you know that I've been suffering with failing lenses since the first few weeks of bringing this thing in and starting with it. I have had 4 dust lenses that have cracked, and now the lens on the laser module itself has cracked. So I don't know what they'll do, if anything, but it's frustrating. So I'm going to share these tips with you, and they're dealing more with LightBurn and ways to utilize your material. I'm hoping to see the subscription numbers go right up through the roof after this video. But let's jump in here to LightBurn and show you all these things that I've been talking about. All right, now starting from home position. And it's extremely important that you start from home position. At least it's been my experience. Come up into Laser Tools, go to Center Finder. Now, as you remember, I just tossed that circle, that disc, onto the honeycomb with no random or with a totally random placement. When you click on Find Center, it gives you this pop-up menu. Move laser head to a point on the outside of the circle. Now, I've been messing with this thing for a couple of weeks trying to figure this out. And this is crucial. You cannot grab that laser and physically move it into position. I've tried that and it doesn't work because the machine doesn't recognize that movement as that the laser's been moved. If you go over and grab it, it's been my experience, if you grab it and move it, the software still thinks it's at 0, 0. So, and that's also cancel out of here. Laser, I am using absolute coordinates. Okay. So if you're not in absolute coordinates, if you're in current position or user origin, that may change how this feature works. So working from absolute coordinates, working from home position, I now will jog that laser down to where I'm close enough to go to Center Finder. I will now jog that laser down to where I can get to the outer circumference of that disc. So if I hold my shift key and hit my down arrow control buttons over here, there we go. You see there's one click. You see that thing moved a good inch or plus. And that looks good. Now I'm going to bring her over. And now I'm going to release my shift key and I'm going to hold my control button. Now, as you can tell right now, I do not have this laser focused. It's extremely high, but that's just so we can see everything real good. All right, I'm going to tell it to fire right here. And now you can see, hopefully, in fact, I'm going to zoom in on the disc, I hope. There you go. Now you can see the disc, and we got a little laser button there. Stay. Okay. All right, but I'm not quite on the outside perimeter, and now that I'm not completely focused, it's going to be a larger dot than usual, but this is for demonstration purposes. And another tip about using this Center Finder, and it'll come up and tell you here in a minute, the further your points are away from each other, the more accurate this is going to be when finding center. So when you think about a disc and a circle, if you think back to, for me it was high school geometry. For some of you, you learned it in kindergarten because these school systems are something today. But when you take a disc and you put a triangle with equal points apart, an equilateral triangle, that's going to be the furthest most point. So if you did 12 o'clock, you come down here, and that would be probably about 3:30 or 4 o'clock, and then over here at 7:30 or 8 o'clock. So those 3 points are the points that I strive for when I'm using the Center Finder. So right now, I'm going to take her back up to 12 o'clock position. All right. That is as fine a movement as I can get, and it just is beginning to touch the outer part of the circle. So now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say set first circle point. Now I need to move the machine using the arrow controls again to jog it down there to the 7:30, 8 o'clock position. And there. Set second circle point. Now I need my third one. Now I'm going to bring her just straight across. And take her up just a bit. And there. Set third circle point. Now, as you see, it says computed position. It's telling me exactly where the center of that is. Now, this is extremely important too, guys. If I've got some of you guys who are just hopping around the video, you're going to miss so much that it's not going to work for you. And I'm going to get comments, this ain't work, why ain't it work? Well, you didn't watch and pay attention. You can jog to the center of the circle. Now, that might be a useful tip if you were using one of those other settings, if you were using user origin or anything but absolute coordinates. But using absolute coordinates, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do this, but I find it extremely helpful given the fact that I have not put any artwork on the bed yet. I don't know where to put it. So if I click right here, add guide circle to project, turn that on. And now click OK. Look at there. You got a circle on the workbed. Now the laser knows exactly where that disc is at in the workbed. Now, since I've still got to do my artwork and my creation, what I do is I make sure, number one, that this is on a toolpath. Looks like it is. Nope, that was on a cut path. So I'm going to put this on tool 1. All right, so now I will come up here to arrange and lock selected shapes. Now, no matter what I'm doing, whenever I'm doing my artwork, that circle's not going anywhere. That circle's locked to the tool bed, and I can't screw that up, and I don't have to worry about having to reposition anything if I accidentally move it. So I'm going to do a simple engrave. Go in here, my art library. This is getting ready for a Jeep event. Don't follow me, you won't make it. So, in fact, what's useful, I don't know how large this disc is. I didn't measure anything. I just threw it on the workbed. Well, if I come back up here and click on that circle, it tells me right up there it's 3.0112. That was a 3-inch circle. So now I know I can come down here to this image, select it with my aspect ratio locked. Oh, why is that? Because if I take that, hit shift and select my circle and tell it to center, it should be bigger. That's why, because I wasn't selecting the whole thing. All right, undo. There we go. All right, so let's select all this, group it together. There we go. Now we're cooking with Crisco. That's 5.9 inches on the image, and I need it to be less than 3 inches, and I want about a 1/4 inch or so perimeter. So let's make this 2.75 right here with the aspect ratio locked, 2.75. Now with that selected, select the circle and center, and let's zoom in and see what that looks like. All right, that can be bigger. So select just that image, and let's take her to a full 3 inches. I don't think, maybe it will. All right, and now see, select and select the toolpath, center. Yeah. Don't fully understand that math, but I have a visual representation. I can see what's happening. So according to the sizes up here, that image is 3 inches and the circle is 3 inches, but they ain't the same. So I'm just going to come down here to my artwork and draw it out. Holding my control button and draw it out, it's going to expand it from center, and I can tell where I want it to be. And I also don't want this to take forever and a day. So, and I need to put a circle up here. I'm going to put a rope around this to make a little medallion. I don't know what it'll be used for, but hey. So I need to put a circle, holding my shift key, and let's do a 1/4-inch circle, and let's bring her to the center there, and now bring her down. And we'll do that. What's that going to look? Well, actually, let's look at my cuts and layers. So that's 70 and 70, and this is Baltic birch with a line pass. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do, well, let's see what that, 7 minutes is not terrible. So I'm actually going to do a crosshatch and a line after fill, and that'll work. What's that going to do? 20 minutes. Okay. And actually, all of these red lines are traversal moves. Anytime you see a lot of red like that, that's a lot of wasted energy and time. So here we're showing 1953. If we change our fill, see, fill shapes all at once, fill groups together, let's see what that does from 1953. Same. And fill shapes individually. Look at that. All right, a lot less movement, only saved 2 minutes, but that's a lot better. So I'm going to go with that. And so now, unfortunately for me, because I didn't have this laser focused, I'm going to need to go and focus the laser and probably go through this all again to get it set up and ready. But I wanted you to be able to see, without any interference of that nozzle, how this thing works. So let me get her set up, send her to burn, and create this little medallion. Actually, I just thought of something. That if I don't move the disc, the computer knows where the disc is at. The laser knows where the disc is at. If I just go in here to move, and I move this laser head into position to where I can focus it, not moving the extra line, just dropping down. Don't want that to move. Keep standing back up. All right. Now, if I did that, okay. If I hit frame, it should go right around that circle. I'm going to do a rubber band frame. And that'll work. Okay, so you've seen how Find Center works using a disk. But something you may not have thought about, and I'm sure you've come up with your own way of framing, but you can use that same technique for this. How, you say? Well, imagine this disc was, this sheet of birch is 11 7/8 by 11 7/8. Well, if you took an 11 by 7/8 circle and put it in there, it'd come right around and touch the outer perimeter up top. It touch the outer perimeter on each of those. So if you were to take your square and you mark center position on 3 sides and just move your laser to those 3 spots, then it's going to calculate where the center of that board's at. So you could use that with a little work, a little prep on your square to find, to frame exactly around your square as well. So you've seen what I did about missing the cut. I didn't have my output turned on for my cut layer. I put my prioritization correctly and put my cut first. For me, at least on this little piece, since there was, if there was a larger piece, you wouldn't do your cuts first. But anyway, I failed to turn on the output and had to send it back out to do that. And I did that by just turning off the output for the engrave layer, which was already done, turning back on the output for that one, which is not too dissimilar from what I did on the other fix that I did, where my laser actually moved and messed up a cut. But a viewer commented, said, hey, there's another way to do that. And I had not seen this until they mentioned it. And for that, I sent them out a, check out my wood t-shirt, because this is another great tip. So with everything on the output turned on, and all I needed to do was send out the signal to cut that circle, if I had just selected that circle only, and then when I come here to your laser tab to send the job to start, before you do, turn this tab on right down here. Cut selected shapes. Now when we look at preview, that's the only thing it's going to send. It's only going to send that circle out. Turn that off and go to preview. Still that selected. Sending the whole job out. So there's another little feature that I wasn't aware of until a viewer commented, hey, that's great, it worked, but wouldn't it be easier to do this? And yes, in that instance, it would have been, because it was multiple layers and a lot of things to turn it on and off. So cut selected shapes, Center Finder, 2 great things that we talked about in this video. Hopefully I get some resolution with xTool and get my laser back to 100%, and I can be back to cutting full time. If you found this informative, guys, hit that subscription button. I have met every goal for YouTube to be monetized except for the number of subscribers. And I want to show you something real fast. If I go in here and look at the analytics, I'm well above the watch hours, but my audience, right here, watch time from subscribers. Only 26% of you watching are subscribed. You're killing me. Hit that subscription button. And if you really enjoy the channel, hit that notifications bell. And that way you'll be sure to see if there are any upcoming videos. And hopefully there will be. If it's not with the xTool, then it'll be with another laser. Because this is something I thoroughly enjoy. I feel like I'm pretty good at it. And I enjoy making these videos. But there's no reason to keep continuing to make the videos if you're not going to subscribe and help me get paid. So hit that subscription bell, hit that like. If you want to see different types of videos other than just these tips, these are some projects that I've been doing, and maybe you want to see how to, maybe you don't care to. But these are little tea light boxes. This one was a special request with the little Highland cows in it, but I'm making up these geographic ones, or geometric, there we go, geometric designs, and then there are custom designs available as well. This is getting ready for the Jeep event. So if you enjoy stuff like that and you want to see how I design and do that, and not only the time-saving and extremely helpful tips in LightBurn that I feel like you should know or would want to know, but don't know you want to know. So leave some comments. Let me know what you think. Helpful comments. If you're going to comment about the length of my nose hairs, or you're going to comment about you don't know why you're watching the channel, well, don't watch. It's that simple. I don't know. But I appreciate all the returning viewers. I wish I could tell you I appreciate all the returning subscribers, but you haven't hit that subscription button. Hit that subscription button, and we hope to see you again very, very, very soon. So this is Steve, Hobo with Wood. I'm out. Hopefully not for long. We'll see you again soon.